These are 7 habits that completely changed my life forever at 20 years old, from being someone that worked in a restaurant, not knowing what the hell they were going to do with their life, hated the degree that they were pursuing in college, to being in a situation where a top 1% earner for my age at 20 years old, owned multiple rental units outright, and being in a situation where I'm still in college at a straight A. Obviously, grade level. So, or not grade level, but straight A student, right? And I want to talk about this because I think a lot of people have all of this like mindset BS upon things that actually move the ball forward. And I want to just cut through all of that. And this is my 3rd time recording this fucking video. If this is not, you're probably not going to be in a situation where you understand it. You're going to understand because you probably not see it. If it does not go through in this take, you are not seeing this video. I'm not recording another one. So you better hope that this one's the one that goes through. If you've seen this one, you're lucky because that means that it went through. Number 1. Fuck all of the morning routines and all this bullshit that you see online. I see so many people that are in predicaments where they go and, like, I don't know if it's like a mindset thing. They think they're being more productive. But if you're trying to act like Ashton Hall and have a fucking 3-hour-long, 4-hour-long morning routine before you actually get to work and do the things that are moving the needle forward, I don't know what you're trying to prove, like that you're productive. Like, I don't know what you're trying to do. In reality, there are only like 3 things that really move the needle forward if you're below $100,000 a month. It is 1, advertising to more people; 2, becoming better at advertising; and 3, being in a situation where you're closing deals to make money and bettering the people that you're helping, right? Getting them the solution that you're obviously promising in the initial first place. But so many people stack all these things of what they need to do, or what they feel like they need to do to avoid the things that they actually need to do because these are more comfortable than this. It is so much more comfortable to add all this other bullshit to avoid the needle moving activities, which are less, but you're only really gonna move the ball forward if you're in a predicament where you go and tell yourself, I'm only going to focus on these 3 things because these move the needle forward regardless of how uncomfortable they may be. And you will move so much faster if you just cut through all the BS, get straight to work, and do the things that you know that you need to do, which are obviously the most uncomfortable, because focus and punctuality and also productiveness purely comes down to removing things, not adding things, right? Because how are you gonna have focus on one individual thing or a set of like 3 main things if you have a million things on your plate? Like, being busy is not a flex. Like, it's not. You need to be in a situation where you are dialed in on a specific set of things that move the ball forward. And being a student in the game is probably the second one. You need to be in a situation where it does not matter what you get to in business and your personal life. If you're not a student in the game, eventually life is going to teach you and they're going to humble you. So you need to be always consistently learning, always being open-minded, never looking at someone and judging them based off perception and being certain in your mind that you're like too good to talk to them or they can't help you, because there's a lot of individuals that won't even talk to people that they in their mind think are less than them because of some sort of ego they developed from fuck knows where. Like, I remember when I was working at a restaurant, there were times where I would talk to some certain individuals when I was, taking their order or in a predicament where I was like helping them check out or clear their bill, and they wouldn't even give me the time of day. And yeah, they were business owners, they were busy, whatever. But that doesn't give you the right to not even just have that conversation, because who knows, maybe this person was very successful in their business, but maybe they were struggling with their personal life because they had a single parent, didn't know how to deal with it. Maybe someone just divorced. I could have given them perspective on that. So you can learn something from absolutely everybody that may not directly help you in business. And it does not mean you have to be in a position where you take their advice, word for word and implement it step by step. But you can still listen to them, and just get their perspective. And maybe you don't agree with it at all, and you can cut it and be like, all right, I heard you out, but I'm not gonna listen to your shit, genuine. But you are in a position where you get multiple perspectives from all sides of the table, and you can formulate your own perspective based off of due diligence, your life experiences, and etc. But just completely cutting someone out, not being a student of the game, thinking that you're too good is just gonna shoot you in the foot. Eventually it will. I could guarantee it. And the third one I would say is charisma, communication, and presentation. Charisma, because you need to be able to break the ice with people and meet them when they're at and mirror them. There are a lot of individuals that simply just can't break the ice with some people and get past that initial barrier in new business relationships, etc. Because they don't know how to they just don't know how to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, say for example, I'm calling someone and they're like, hey, so like, hey, this is John, blah, 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 right? And they're very monotone. They're like, hey, this is John from XYZ Lending. Like, what's going on? And I'll be like, hey, man, My name's Xavier. I was referred to your number by and I was just wondering if you could help me out. I'm just trying to get some more information on DSCR products, right? They're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'll help you out. But if they were like saying that exact same tone, I was like, hey, what's going on, John? Like, they're gonna be like, oh, the fuck is this kid? Already off the wrong foot. And once you're off the wrong foot, you can't make another first impression. So you need to go and make sure you hit it off spot on. And a lot of people don't really like being in a situation where the personalities don't match. Like they want people that are just like them. I don't know why, but people are like that. And I would say the communication aspect in terms of not even necessarily just the verbal, but the body language, right? If I'm like in a meeting and I'm like, like I'm a try to get a DSCR loan for my property and boom, because I know that you guys have good rates. Does it seem like I'm interested? Absolutely not. So if you're in a position where you master communication on the physical and verbal level, you'll be fine. You also have to be knowledgeable what you're talking about, because if you're not knowledgeable, how are you going to provide the right communication for them to understand your ideas and the things you want to do to see if they can even help you? If they don't understand what the hell you're trying to do, how are they going to help you? And being able to have the knowledge about it to not only communicate it, but dumb it down to some way that even someone that does not understand it could be in a position to potentially help you, because now they do understand it, because you got them from where they did not know to what they do know by combining the two, right? The only way that you can teach them is helping them understand something they don't know with things they already know and combining them. And being able to have conversations about multiple things, that will break the ice so much faster, because you're not self-centered about business, money. There are a lot of people, individuals, a lot of people online, especially in the money making space, that they're so self-centered about just money. Like that is it. Oh, I make 100K a month. This is what I do on a weekend. It's like, okay, but what else is about you? Like, what adversity have you faced? What life perspectives do you have based off of things that you've overcame, right? Like, what are you when all the money's gone? Right? Can you walk into the same room of people that are making more money than you and still get the same amount of respect? Or are you in a position where you're not able to communicate well beyond that because you don't have the knowledge about other things, because your only focus is just money? And those people who have the conversation about other things because money is not even in the equation anymore because they have so much of it, you think the respect's earned there? No, it's not there, because respect cannot be bought. It can't be bought, and a lot of people think that it can. So be knowledgeable in many things so you can have a conversation with absolutely anybody. And I would say that the fourth one is being willing to put everything on the line. When I got my first rental, I had like $10,000 saved up, had access to business credit. I thought that it was only like $5K to get a unit of seller finance, which I was still the dream on. And if I was never sold that dream, I probably would have never took the initial risk. And then I ended up getting to these units. I'm like, bro, if it's 20% down, $100,000 house, that's nowhere near fucking 5 G's all in. Like, this is bullshit. But I didn't get mad at it because I was already all in. I said, all right, how am I going to figure it out? And I figured the fuck out. When I started my first video business, I put myself like $15K in credit card debt buying camera equipment at 0% interest. Because I was like, all right, like I need this to increase my earning potential to make more money to make it back, which is going to be faster than me doing it on my iPhone, trying to save money, not getting the same deals, because perception is a big thing. That's why I talk about body language, presentation. If I would have this phone recording, they'd be like, some fucking kid, whatever. But I had this big ass camera. Unfortunately, perception is a big thing. But I also had the skill set to make them more money from video. So I'll say not being afraid to go all in, because what's your alternative? Stay in the same spot? Like if you really dial in on listing on your worst case scenario, in reality, most of the time it's not that bad. Like it's really not that bad. I would have said, okay, like, yeah, I have 15K credit card debt, 0% interest. I work my job, I pay it off. It'll take me fucking 6 months to pay it off. Okay, I lost 6 months of my life, whatever. Like, realistically, like, it's not that bad. Some people are like, oh, I don't want to invest in real estate because, okay, what's the worst thing that happens? You sell this fucking unit, you get exactly what you paid for it, and you maybe lost 3 months. Like, your life is way too damn short to not be all in and do some main character shit. And the fifth one is posting on social media as fast as possible to get over that hump, and as much as possible. The reason why I say as much as possible, because it's literally an attempt to win the lottery, and most of you guys are in positions where you have winning lottery tickets because of your persona, maybe connection with your existing audience, and you don't want to post. Tell me how much bullshit it is. There are people that are dying to be in your fucking shoes right now, and you don't want to post on social media because you're scared of what other people think. Goes back to what I said previously. You're going to be in a situation where you go and list out every single worst case scenario upon taking that action, and you realize it's not that bad. Okay, people make group chats about you, capping on you. You won, and actually in a benefit because you see who responds to that in which way, so I can see who's a real one, who's not. The second thing, you see who made that group chat and was posting that video, or who sent that video in the first place. You already know, okay, this guy's a fucking lame. And 3, they're in reality they're benefiting you. They're sharing your content to get more shares, which favors the algorithm. Like it just makes no sense why you would not want to take action upon something besides stupidity, arrogance, or ignorance. Those are the main things. So posting on social media as much as possible. I'm literally going to Niagara Falls this month. Go to New York, because Niagara Falls is on both sides, New York and Canada, with my mom, because of the opportunities I got from social media. I went going to this WAP event. Would have never known about WAP if it wasn't for social media. Would never had the connections there to know about the opportunity. Literally nothing if it was not for social media. It just wasn't. But some people are just stuck, and most of the time are not going to move. So if you could get past that, overcome it, just post as much as you can. Best chance your life will always change for the better. It's not going to change for the worse if you post more on social media of things that are actually valuable, helping other people, documenting some sort of journey, or just meaningful to maybe one other person, because there's millions of other people exactly like the ideal person that you're trying to show a video to. The sixth thing is reading people. If you're not in a position where you're able to read people, a lot of the time you're going to get done dirty by people that don't have the best intentions. A lot of people do not have as good of intentions as you may think, even if they're close to you. And this goes to say that even in business, not all business is good business, right? Just because someone has fucking money in a credit card does not mean that you're going to want to work with them, right? Because one of the things that I test upon that I recently started doing is, like, if I work with someone older and they don't have a good relationship with their kids, why the fuck would I work with them? You're telling me that you have your creed, your own child, and you are claiming loyalty to me when you can't even show any remorse or sort of loyalty to your kid, like your own seed? How the fuck does that work? Like, my dad bounced when I was young, and if he had the exact same persona and someone else had the exact same persona and I met them and they wanted to, work with us or become a partner, become an affiliate, why the fuck would I work with you? You're like, I'm supposed to believe your loyalty when you can't even make an attempt to have a relationship with your kid. How are you gonna have a relationship with me if you don't have a relationship with your kid? Like, there's certain things like that. Seeing if this person communicates well, presents themselves well, seeing how they are when they are in situations where they have things in front of them that they can do for you that do not benefit them. See how they are. Like, if you're trying to test out a new lender, for example, that you're trying to work with, like, see how fast they respond to your questions if they know that you're not gonna buy. See how it is. See if they would take 15 minutes out of the day to get on the phone with you, knowing you're not gonna buy, knowing that you may have some beginner questions. See how it is. You can always tell how someone is based off of the way that they treat other people that do not benefit them. Especially even with girls too. You could go into a restaurant, the girls are mean to the waiter, rude to some host. Automatic cut off red flag right there. I don't give a flying fuck how bad she is. I don't care if her family's rich. It's just not the way I was raised, not the way that I want to move. And I just don't see myself allocating the time and energy to teach you how to be a fucking decent human being. And the seventh one, before I might take a recap on some of them, is just buying assets, bro. Because you're going to come across a lot of individuals on social media that post, like, their cars, they're posting their watch, and it's like, that only impresses broke-ass people. Like, if you want to impress people, the right people, you outwork them. If you want to impress the wrong people, broke people, you outspend them. And yeah, I'll get you a lot of attention, and most of the time it's not qualified, right? You're trying to grow a business, you want qualified attention, you want people that are going to help you, but it's the unpopular decision that you need to make, and it's not going to be the one that gets a lot of attention, glamorization, or even just response on social media, but it's the one that's going to set you up. It's like, would you rather go and be upside down on a car just so you can look good on social media for people that are not going to pay that car payment, or have fucking 10 houses that ensure that your kids are never going to have to work for the rest of their life, because by the time that they are born, and they're chilling at 10 years old, these houses are paid off, paying them for the rest of their life. What's a bigger flex? One's just shorter, one's just longer. Do I believe in having nice things eventually? Yeah, like, I like nice things. I just know that right now I'm in a season of life where I'm trying to build this fucking empire, so I could be all in on this to the point where I have the empire, the resources, so eventually I don't have to be all in, and I could just have the car and I'm smooth. Because you don't want to be all in, hustle, building your whole life. Like, you don't. Shit is not for the weak. But if you don't have that empire in place, then how are you going to be in a situation where you can, one, pass it on to people before you, and then also have a safety net of things that will pay you regardless of what happens to you, whether it's you get a physical disability, mental disability in the future, your life completely changes, illness, and you never know. So buying assets is not something that is really preached anymore. It's really just like, buy that car, you'll make the money back, get that Miami apartment that you know you can afford. It's like, at what cost? If you won't invest now with the money you have now, you're not going to invest later. Straight about it is. If you can invest $100 a month into acquiring a new skill set while you're making $1,000 a month, you're not gonna invest $1,000 a month into an investment portfolio or a new skill set or growing your business if you have $10,000 coming in a month. It's just straight up how it is. But I think these are the main things. I could have had a fucking huge list, but these are just the main accolades. I feel like the last video, the version I recorded this video is so much better, but honestly don't have the energy to go and rip absolutely everything that was. It's right around the same time, but these are the 7 things that I promise you, if you just implement them, you'll be in a situation where you do the most needle moving activities and you're not worried about a bunch of bullshit, and it just cuts through absolutely everything in terms of those weeds that you have to, you know, filter over time. It just goes straight through it like a weed whacker as opposed to pulling it out with your hands. So I appreciate you guys watching this. If you have any questions or you have a favorite one that, you know, of the list, comment it down below. And like I said, DJI Osmo, because they become my best friend. I'm posting a lot on YouTube, but I said these are the 7. Let me know which one's your favorite. But like I said, also another thing on the charisma side, if you focus on the charisma, the relationship building, the communication, you will build a friend today and you will do a deal tomorrow. You should not do the inverse. So I appreciate you watching. I'm pissed I had to record this 3 times. If you have any other questions that are more in detail, DM me on IG. The link will be in the bio. Or if you have your favorite one, leave it in the comment below. And yeah, appreciate y'all. I'm not recording this fucking video again. Hopefully you guys see it.